MCQ for Mathematics CBSE grade 9. So let's begin. Have you had a situation where after the exam you discuss your MCQ answers with your friends and everybody is happy because they get their answers match, and while you are wondering what went wrong and your answer is totally different from your friend's answers, not only it makes you sure that you lose 1 mark for that one, but it goes beyond that one. It shatters your confidence and your subsequent question papers may be getting affected. So we don't want you to see MCQ as just 1 mark question or like just first couple of questions, first couple of marks. It builds up your confidence because that is the thing which you compare after the exam is over. So for that purpose we are going to go sequentially and we are going to cover 99 questions covering all chapters of CBSE grade 9 mathematics. So let's begin with chapter 1, number systems. Every natural number is a whole number and you have to say whether it is true, false, sometimes true, not defined, none of these. So let's quickly recap what is the number sets here. The first number set is natural numbers, which is we use for counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. It's an infinite set and it has only whole number, full numbers, no fractions. Now later on 0 was invented, and then to indicate absence of something or lack of something we had to include 0. So whole numbers is natural numbers, everything included, plus on top of that 0 was later added. We get integers because occasionally we have to indicate the opposite direction, which is like on the other side. So it is infinite on both directions, and again it has negative numbers such as -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, the definition of sets is going to get more and more comprehensive. Every previous set is actually a subset of the upcoming set. Rational numbers not only include integers, but on top of that now we have fractions. Fractions can be expressed in the form p divided by q, and rational numbers will have integers on top of that fractions. Now we have irrational numbers. Irrational numbers cannot be expressed in the form of p divided by q. Those are mostly roots of non-perfect squares and occasionally irrational numbers such as pi or e. We do have real numbers. Sorry, the previous one was rational number. The real numbers is actually rational numbers plus irrational numbers, and then on top of that we have eventually coming up complex numbers, which we don't have right now. That includes square root of negative numbers such as -1 denoted by I. So coming back to the question, every natural number is a whole number. Yes, because natural number, if you take any number, you will find that in the whole number set. So natural number is a subset, is a part of the whole number set. So every natural number is a whole number. The answer will be true because you can take any number from the natural number set, you will find its existence in the whole number. Let's go to the second question. To rationalize the denominator, 1 over root 32. Now some of you will say that, oh, just multiply numerator and denominator by root 32. That's not true. Root 32 first can be split up. We don't have to go all the way till root 32. First of all, we are going to split root 32 as root 16 and root 2. Root 16 is 4, so 4 root 2. So that means we have to take care of only root 2, and then that is the answer. Which of the following is an irrational number? Irrational numbers are those which cannot be expressed p divided by q in the format where p, q are integers, q not equal to 0. 0.9, let's see each option individually. 0.9 can be expressed as 9 divided by 10, so it is actually a rational number. -3.5 can be -7 by 2. 0.333, it looks kind of weird, different than the previous two numbers, but we can express that as 1/3. However, last number is pi. That's an irrational number. Even though it's a ratio of circumference to diameter of circle, exact value we cannot represent that as p by q. We can include more and more digits, and that makes the value of pi more and more comprehensive and accurate, but we cannot fully define pi with just a couple of numbers or just as a fraction. Some of you will say, oh, it's a 22 by 7, but 22 by 7 is just an approximation. That's not a perfect 100% accurate value of pi. It's just barely good enough for our calculation purpose. So the answer of this one is pi. Next question, a pair of irrational numbers whose product is a rational number. So now here the question is, we want the original two numbers as irrational numbers and their product has to be rational number. Now you will think that 16 times 4 is 64 and root 64 is 8. Technically that's not wrong, but it violates a condition. Irrational number, the original numbers have to be irrational number. Now root 16 is not an irrational number, that can be simplified as 4. Root 4 can be simplified as 2. So these are not irrational numbers, so they disqualify. However, if you check option C, that is root 3 times root 27, that's root 81, and that will be equal to 9. So that satisfies the condition. Option C is the correct answer. Let's go to the next question. This includes exponents, laws of exponents. First of all, let's see them individually. 125 raised to 1/3. Now negative power can be converted into positive power by taking reciprocal. So if 125 raised to 1/3, I'm going to change that as 1 upon 125 raised to 1/3. Negative power can be converted. We can skip this negative sign if we take the reciprocal. So 125 raised to negative something is 1 upon 125 raised to positive, the same thing. And we can use this fractional power is nothing but root. So 125 raised to 1/3 is actually cube root. And this is also cube root, but then we have to take square of it. Let's simplify this further. So this will be 1 upon 125 raised to 1/3, which is cube root. And then this is cube root minus cube root square. So if you simplify that, this will come out to be 1/5, and this will be 5 because cube root of 125 is 5, and then 125 cube root, which is 5, and square is 25. 5 minus 25 will be negative 20, will get cancelled with 5, and the final answer will be negative 4. So option B. Let's go to the next chapter, polynomials. This is chapter 2. Which of the following is a quadratic polynomial? Now we need to get our terminology straight. When we say linear polynomial, that means maximum power is of x is just 1. As opposed to that, if you say quadratic polynomial, the maximum power is 2, then we can go higher as cubic polynomial and so on. So here the question is quadratic polynomial, which is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. The maximum power of x is just 2. So that means I have given some examples here. So the example will be 5x square plus 3x plus 9. Now why this is not correct answer? Because there is a cube here. This is actually linear, there is no square term, and this is again cube and square, so this is still cubic. So the correct answer is option A. The degree of the polynomial 4x raised to 5 plus 3x square plus 9 is, now the degree is the maximum power of x. Here the maximum power of x is 5, so the degree will be 5. Given polynomial pt, which is polynomial as a function of t, pt, we can write it as fx or fy or py, pt, like this one. T square minus 4t plus 9, then p1. All we have to do is like to substitute the value of t as 1. So instead of pt, if the original polynomial is in the form of t and we want p of 1, now we are replacing t by 1 on the left hand side. So that means we have to replace t by 1 on the right hand side too. And that will give us 1 square minus 4 times 1 plus 9, and that will be your final answer equal to 6. Option C is the correct answer. Write the coefficient of x square in the given polynomial. Now this looks like a tricky question. Some people think like, oh, why there is no square? Maybe they did some printing mistake. This should be square. They will manipulate by themselves. No. If you haven't given this kind of polynomial which does not have a square term, then that means square term is missing, means it's 0x square. So the same polynomial, because there is no x square term involved, I can write the same polynomial with added x square term, which is 0x square I can write, and then I can say that the coefficient of x square is simply 0. Next question is x square plus ax equal to 5 is product of these two given factors. What is the value of A? Well, we'll simply multiply these two by expanding the brackets, and whatever the value of coefficient of x that comes after consolidation, that will be your answer for the value of A. Let's start. X plus 2 times x plus 3 will be x multiplied by x plus 3 and then 2 multiplied by x plus 3. So that will come out to be x square plus 5x plus 6. Now if you compare that with x coefficients, A will be simply 5. Degree of zero polynomial. Zero polynomial means we have just 0. Now since it is 0, we can write it as 0x, 0x square, 0x cube. There are unlimited possibilities. So none of these accurately represents degree of zero polynomial. So it is undefined or not defined. Option C is the correct answer. X plus 1 is a factor of the polynomial. Now I am going to tell you some trick here. If all coefficients add up to 0, then x minus 1 is a factor. If alternate coefficients add up to 0, add up to equality, then x plus 1 is a factor. These are the two basic rules that will get you going and that will increase your speed. Remember, if all coefficients add up to 0, so that means whatever are the coefficients here, it's 1, 3, 3, 1, 1. If they all add up to 0, which they are not in this case, then x minus 1 is not a factor. But however, they have asked x plus 1. In case of x plus 1, we have to separate odd terms and separate even terms. Odd terms means x, x cube, x raised to 5 and so on. Even terms means x square, x4 as well as the constant term also. Now, if there addition of this coefficient for all odd terms and all even terms, it's same, then x plus 1 is a factor. Let's try this one. That happens here. All the odd terms are 1 plus 1 and all even terms is also 1 plus 1. So the odd terms add up to 2, even terms add up to 2. Their odd coefficients and even coefficients, the sum total is same, so x plus 1 is a factor. Factorization of 12x square minus 10x plus 2. In that case, concentrate on the first number, concentrate on the last number, they take their multiplication or product. 12 times 2 is 24. That 24 has to be split up in such a way that the sum total will come out to be the middle term. Now you can split that as let's say minus 4 and minus 6. So in that case, let's try this, splitting this minus 10x as minus 4x minus 6x. So it will be 4x can be taken common from the first two terms and that will leave 3x here, and if you take 4x common from the second term common, then it will leave only minus 1. If you take minus 2 common, then it will get 3x minus 1. 3x minus 1 is a repeated factor, we will write that only once, and whatever is left over, that will accumulate into second bracket. So 3x plus 1 and then whatever is left over, 4x minus 2. So this will be your factorization and that will be answer D. Question number 14, abscissa of A. Well, the first coordinate is abscissa, second one is ordinate. So the answer will be 0. A point that lies in the third quadrant has sign actually. Let's see the graph paper. Let's assume that this is x-axis, horizontal one. Let's assume that this is y-axis. Now the entire two-dimensional space is divided into 4 subspaces. So now this is called quadrant 1 and we'll go anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. So this will become quadrant 2, this will be quadrant 3 and this will be quadrant 4. Now you know that x-axis is positive on the left, positive on the right, negative on the left, y-axis is positive upwards, negative downward. So in this region, both x and y will be positive, so the coordinates will be positive, comma positive. X coordinate is also positive, y coordinate is also positive. In the second quadrant, x coordinate is negative, y coordinate is positive. In third quadrant, both coordinates will be negative, and fourth quadrant, x will be positive, y will be negative. Remember, x is always first, y is always second. So what is the question? A point that lies in third quadrant. Well, both numbers are negative because it lies on the left, which is negative, and it lies downward, that is also negative. So x-axis wise it is negative, y-axis wise also it is negative. So the answer will be option C. Let's go to question number 16. The coordinate negative 3 comma 3 lies in the quadrant? Actually it's negative 3 means it is on the left and positive 3 means it's upward. That will be second quadrant. Refer to the earlier diagram. Let's go to question 17. The value of k is if x equal to minus 1, y equal to 2 is the solution of the equation negative 2x negative plus 2y equal to k. All we have to do is substitute the value of x and y in the given expression, and negative 2 times negative 1, that's 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, so answer will be 6. Let's go to question 18. Instead of entering ship's destination, well, a person was supposed to enter the destination in a software program as negative 4, 3. He makes a mistake. Instead of that, he types minus 3, 4. Then what will happen? Well, ship will go correct destination because these two are same. Absolutely no. Negative 4, 3 and negative 3, 4, they are totally separate distance. They do not lie along x-axis, they do not lie along y-axis, so B and C are also wrong. But the correct option will be, it will go to totally separate destination, because these 2 points, even though the numbers look same, but because of the signs and because of the order, they represent totally separate destinations, and the ship will go to a new location which is totally unrelated to the previous one. Let's go to question 19. One of the solutions is, well, we have to plug in the values. Say for example, if we substitute negative 3 plus 1 minus 6, that's not 0, so this is bad. 1 plus 3 minus 6, that's not 0, that's also bad. But if you substitute 0 plus 6, 0, 6, so this is 0 plus 6 minus 6 equal to 0. So C is a solution because it satisfies the given equation of the straight line, and C is the correct option. Let's go to question 20. Linear equations, chapter 4. The equation represents, now this is a linear equation, maximum power is equal to 1. This will represent a straight line. There is no equation for a point. A point only has coordinates. A curve normally has higher order, such as quadratic or cubic equations, but single power or linear equations represents only straight line, but the maximum power of x is just 1. Linear equations are simplest among all, and they represent a straight line. Let's go to question number 21. Express the linear equation in the form. Now you can cross multiply and eliminate that fraction, but by looking at the options, they don't care about that one. So here coefficient of x is a, that's 1. Coefficient of b is coefficient of y, that's negative 1/5, and c is minus 10. So I believe the first option itself is an answer. All you have to do is they compare x coefficient with x coefficient, that gives the value of a. Compare y coefficient with y coefficient, that gives you value of b, and compare constant with constant, that should give you value of c. Let's go to question 22. Y is equal to 3x plus 5 has unique solution, only 2 solution, infinitely many solution, and only 3 solution. This I am going to go a little bit detail, but for that there is one, okay, we will see that in a minute. Value of k, x equal to 4, y equal to 5. Now x equal to 4, that means we have to substitute the value of x, that's 4, so 5 times 4 is 20, minus 4 times y, which is like also 20, so 20 minus 20 we got 0, so 2 plus k should be 0, so k should be negative 2, and negative 2 will be answer. You can pause this video at any time if you think I am going a little bit faster. I need to give you only hint and a little bit explanation. Detailed explanation occasionally is provided here step by step. From that you can get the answer. Let's go to question 24. Find the value of k. If this is the solution, well, we have to substitute the value of x, that's 2, 2 times 2 plus 3 times 1, so that would be k. So k will be 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 3 times 1, that will be 7. So 7 is the correct answer. Let's go to question 25. The cost of 21 pencils and 9 pens is equal to 276 rupees, and cost of 6 pencils and 6 pens is 84. Then the cost of 1 pencil and 1 pen is how much? It's a question of formulation. It's linear equation in two variables. Let's assume that the pencil cost you x and pen cost you y. So 21 times x, because pencil is x, plus 9 times y, because pen is y, that is 276. That will give you first equation. And similarly, we can say 6 times x plus 3 times y is 84. That will be your second equation. Now, they are not expecting us to find individual x or individual y. We are supposed to just find out x plus y. So, what I will do is, like, I will multiply such that y coefficients become same. Now, I can eliminate them by subtraction. If you subtract them, 9y will get cancelled. 276 minus 252 will give you 24, and 21 minus 18 will give you 3x. So that will give you the value of x. You can substitute back in any of the equation. Let's take this one, looks simpler. So if you substitute the value of x as 8, y will be eventually come out to be 12. Now they want one pencil and one pen, so that means x plus y. So x plus y will be 8, because x value is 8 and y is 12. So altogether the price, the cost of one pencil and one pen will be 20. Let's go to the next question, 26. The graph of linear equation 6x minus 2y cuts the y-axis. Now, cuts the y-axis, that means this point is on the y-axis. That means the x coordinate will be 0. And any point on the y-axis is in the form of 0, comma p. If the point is on the y-axis, x coordinate will be 0. If the point is on x-axis, y coordinate will be 0. B is some number which we don't know and we are supposed to find it out, which means x coordinate will be equal to 0. Now, 6x minus 2y equal to 8. Now, we know that x coordinate is 0. We will plug in the value of x as 0. So, 6 times 0 minus 2y equal to 8. Eliminate this 0, we will get minus 2y equal to 8, and then y will come out to be negative 4. So, that means the point which is in consideration, that will be 0, comma negative 4. Let's go to question 27, coordinates of any point on x-axis. Well, if the point is on x-axis, its y coordinate will be 0. So that will be the correct answer, because even though technically this is correct, this is one single point. It can be any point, so it is a line, so you can have many possibilities. First coordinate can be anything, and the second coordinate will be 0. If a point is on x-axis, y coordinate will be 0. If a point is on y-axis, x coordinate will be 0. Let's go to the chapter 5. This is theoretical chapter. You will have to do some reading from the textbook. A lot of historical facts are given, conceptual things are explained, what is the difference between theorem, postulate, all those things. So, a number of dimensions surface has. Now, a point has 0 dimension, line has 1 dimension, and surface has 2 dimensions. Solid has 3D. So, the number of dimensions a surface has, well, it has 2 dimensions. Euclid divided his famous treatise in the element into, well, the answer is 13 chapters. Please read the textbook for details. There is no explanation as such for this particular question. These are kind of tricky question. You have to have the concepts ready, and you have to read the chapter 5 at least a couple of times. Pythagoras was a student of, well, this I know that he was a student of Thales. Next question is, Euclid stated that all right angles are equal to each other in the form of postulate. So that will be the correct answer, number 31. Euclid belongs to the country. Well, he belonged to Greece, definitely not India, not Babylonia, and not Egypt. Let's go to question 33. Axioms are assumed universal truth in all branches of mathematics. That's the correct answer. Which of the following statement is line segment has a definite length? 2 lines, well, 3 lines are concurrent if they have a common point. 2 lines are drawn from plane, always intersect at a point. This is incorrect, because you can have parallel lines, and parallel lines, no matter how much you extend them, they will never intersect. So this statement, remember, they are asking you incorrect statement. So this is definitely incorrect, because parallel lines will never ever intersect. Let's go to question 35. Which of the following needs a proof? Well, the correct answer is theorem. The things which are double of same things are also equal. Things which are half of other things are also equal. Things which are double, these are given in the chapter. Let's go to chapter 6, lines and angle. If two lines intersect each other, vertically opposite angles are equal because they form like English alphabet X, they are always equal. In the given figure, x is to y is 4 is to 1. Now x and y are supplementary angles, so x plus y is 180. So we can write x plus y as 180. So we can say 4 times 1, so together their addition is 5. So y will come out to be 180 divided by 5, which is 36, and then it will come out to be 72. Angles of triangles are in the ratio 2, 4, 3. We know that sum of angles of all three angles of a triangle is 180. So that would come out to be 2x plus 4x plus 3x. Altogether it will be 9x, x will be 20. Smallest angle will be 2x, which is 2 times 20, which is 40 degrees. Let's go to question number 40. If one angle of a triangle is equal to sum of the other two angles, then the triangle is right angle triangle, because we have x, x and 2x. So altogether it will be 4x, 4x equal to 180, x will be 45, and then one of the angle will be definitely 90 degrees. The complement is the total has to be 90. Well, if one is already 90 degrees, the second one will be 0 because their total has to be 90 degrees. So the answer is 0. Triangles. If two angles and included angle are equal to two angles, then here the key word is two angles and one side, included side. So we have angle, side, angle. So the correct option will be ASA, which represents angle, side, angle. Which of the following is not a criteria for congruence of triangles? Well, we don't have SSA. This is right angle triangle whose hypotenuse and side matches with this. This is angle, side, angle, which we just saw. Side angle, side. These are all except side, side, and the third one is angle, not the included one. So this is not the criteria for congruence of a triangle. Two sides of a triangle, 5 and 1.5. Now we know that in a triangle, the sum of two sides of a triangle always is larger than the third side taken by itself. So 5 plus 1.5, so the third side will be definitely less than 6.5. Well, that's not given, but we can say that we can go the other side also. For example, if we take this 3.4 centimeter, then 3.4 centimeter plus 1.5, together it will become 4.9. The third side cannot be larger than the sum of the remaining two sides. So this violates our theorem. So 3.4 is the correct answer. Remember, I repeat, in any triangle, the sum of two sides will be always larger than the third side taken by itself, isolated. So if we have 3.4, then it violates that condition, because 3.4 plus 1.5 will become 4.9, and the third side cannot be bigger than that. So this side violates the condition. This triangle is impossible. In triangle ABC, BC equal to AB, well, we have an isosceles triangle. One side is 80, so one angle is 80, so other one is 80 plus 80, which will be 160, and well, I need to go back and check this answer. The diagram is not given, something is not right. Okay, when we have diagram, the things are really easy. When diagram is not drawn, then there will be confusion. Here we have to find out PRQ. So we need to find out this angle. Well, that's easy because we have this triangle. This angle is 70 because 110 and 70. This angle is 45 because 135 and 45. So now everything is 180. So RPQ is first of all 45 because this is 135. Then TQP is, well, actually PQR, this angle has to be 70, and then PRQ is 65, this angle is 65, and then this will be 180 minus 65. So that they have asked PRQ, that's 65 directly itself. Let's go to question number 47. The given figure ABC, AB equal to, let's have this figure, AB and AC are same, that means angle B and this angle C belonging to the triangle are identical. If this is 110, this will be 70, this is also 70. Now what is the measure of BAC? If this is 70, this is 70, this will be only 40. So correct answer is option B. Let's go to question 48. An isosceles right angle triangle has, well, we have one angle 90 degree, other two angles are identical, which has to be, total has to be 90 because everything adds up to 180. So if we split that, that will come out to be 45, 45, and one is right angle triangle. So this will be the answer. Quadrilaterals in the given figure, angle C, well, we need to know the which one is ABC. Angle C is 35, then angle B. Now we know that in a cyclic quadrilateral, the opposite angles add up to 180. So if this is 35, then this will be 145. The adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. That's a property of a parallelogram. Which of the following is not a parallelogram? Well, rectangle is technically a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. Square is a very special case of rectangle, which itself is a special case of parallelogram. So yes, that is also a parallelogram. Rhombus is also technically a parallelogram where opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, and all sides are equal. However, trapezium is something which is not where we have opposite sides as parallel. So this is the correct answer. Remember, the question is not a parallelogram. Let's go to question 52. In the given quadrilateral ABCD, angle A is 145, angle B is 75, angle C, well, we know that in quadrilateral everything is 360, so the 360 minus these angles will give you 105. In the following figure, M is the midpoint and N is also midpoint of their respective sides, and then, well, we can use the midpoint theorem and we can say that if this side, if this is the midpoint, this is the midpoint, then Mn will be not only parallel to BC, on top of that Mn will be exactly half of the third side. So Mn will be equal to half of the third side, which is BC. Mn equal to half BC, that is your first option, option A. Let's go to question 54. In a quadrilateral, the sum of all angles, well, this is 360, quadrilateral has 4 sides. If you subtract 2, so that is equivalent of 2 triangles. So remember, it's always n-sided polygon is n minus 2 triangles. Each triangle is worth 180 degrees, n minus 2, 180 degrees. So 2 triangles, which is 360 degrees. In the adjoining figure, PQRS is a parallelogram. Find RSQ. Well, we know that if this is 60, this will be also 60 because parallelogram. And then this is 60, this is 80, so this small angle will be 40 degrees because everything is 180. And then RSQ, okay, that's the only thing asked, so that is 40 degrees. Let's go to question 56. In a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other and equal, then it is, well, it is the rhombus because that indicates that all 4 sides are same. Parallelogram means opposite sides are parallel. So parallel sides, parallelogram with all sides equal becomes rhombus. 57. In the adjoining figure, BCD. Okay. Now we can consider each triangle separately. This is 90 degrees, this is 40 degrees. So this will be the remaining. So we have to find out BCD. So first, this small angle is 90 plus 40 is 130. 180 minus 130, so this will become 50, and then this is 120, 30, so that is 150, so this is 30, so this is 50 and this is 30, together it will be 50 plus 30, that is 80 degrees. Which of the following is not true for a parallelogram? Diagonals bisect each other, opposite angles are equal, opposite angles are bisected by the diagonals, this one is not correct. Let's go to question 59, we are in chapter 9, circles. If the radius AO is 5 centimeters and the chord AB is 8 centimeters, so let's assume that this is 8 centimeter and the radius is 5, we drop a perpendicular, this is the center, AB has been given as 8 and this will be bisected by this radius vector, perpendicular vector which is drawn on this one. So AM is half of 8, so that will be 4. Radius has been given as 5. This is half of 8, which is 4. So that means this will be, this is the Pythagoras theorem. Pi square is hypotenuse, pi square minus 4 square under square root, that's 3 centimeters. Question number 60, the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral, such angle is one is double. So we know that these two angles together add up to 180 degrees. So 2x plus x is 3x, that is equal to 180. So x is equal to 60. So the angles will be 60, 120. In the given figure, AB and AC are tangents to the circle. ABC is 42. Well, let's see how can we solve. This is an external point, and we have drawn two tangents. So let's draw radius vectors. Let's assume that this is this thing. Now the radius vector will be always perpendicular to the tangent. So together they are 90 degrees. So this is 42. This will be 90 minus 42. That will come out to be 48. And this and this are equal because both are radius radii. So this will be 48. From that we can calculate the BAC will be, well, we have to calculate this angle. For that we will calculate this one, 84. Now this is 90, this is 90, this is 84. So we can subtract everything from 360 degrees, and that will give you 96 as your final answer. Maximum number of common tangents. Well, if you have, that can be drawn if two circles intersect at two distinct points. That's the key word. If the two circles, they have not said whether they are equal or not, but if they are intersecting at two distinct points, that means they are not barely touching each other. They are not like completely separated from each other, but they are intersecting at two distinct points. So that will be, we can draw two such triangles, tangents. So that will be the correct answer. Perimeter of a sector. Well, I need to put that. Let's say, okay. Length of a tangent drawn to a circle 9 centimeter. Let's draw the diagram. This is 90 degrees. The direct distance is 41. The point of tangency has x distance, and the radius vector is 9. So this is the right angle triangle. So we can write 9 square plus x square. This is 9, by the way. So this will come out to be 40. X will be 40. Question number 65. In the given figure, O is the center of the circle, MN is the chord, tangent ML, measure of MON. Let's see the diagram. First of all, this OM and this line are tangent to each other, so that means they are perpendicular. OM and ON both are identical because they are radius vectors, and we are asked MON. So, okay. So now this is 70, so that means this is 20. If this is 20, then this is also 20 because this is an isosceles triangle. OM, ON both are radii. So triangle, everything is 180, so that will be 140 degrees. So option B is the correct answer. The angle subtended at the center of the circle is, well, it's always a double. In the given figure, tangents PA and PB, let's see the figure. Okay, we need to calculate this dotted line. Well, we know that the tangents are perpendicular to the radius vectors, and here the third angle is also given as 90 degree. That's part of the question. So that means this is a rectangle. If this is 5 and this is 5, then this will be 5 root 2 according to Pythagoras theorem. The longest chord of the circle, well, it's a diameter. Two circles are said to be congruent if they have equal radii or equal diameter. Here chords and arcs are not correct answer. They are variable. They can be anything. So radii is the correct answer. In the given figure, let's see the figure. TA is a tangent. Well, in that case, we'll just connect to the center. This will be at 90 degrees. We can use trigonometry, and that will make things easier. But trigonometry you have been studying. You will be studying in grade 10. So I'm avoiding that one. If we know, I don't know whether you recall 30, 60, 90 theorem. In a right angle triangle where the angles are 30 degrees, 60 degree and 90 degrees, the side opposite to 30 degrees is half of the hypotenuse. So here side opposite to 30 is OA, which is the radius, which will be half of 4. this will be 2, and then because the side opposite to 30 is half of the hypotenuse. So that would be x is equal to 4 square minus 2 square, that will come out to be 2 root 3. In the given figure, PT is tangent. Let's see the figure. We have been asked x angle. Okay, this is 90. So 25 plus 90, that we have to subtract from 180. That will give you this angle, and then we can find out 180 minus this one, or just do 25 plus 90. That will give you, I think, 115 will be the correct answer. They have asked us x. X is not 65 actually. X is actually this one is 65. This one is 115. So this answer is wrong. Actually it should be D. Heron's formula: semi-perimeter of a triangle. Semi-perimeter is addition of all all three sides divided by 2. So it will be 122 plus 22 plus 120 divided by 2. So that will be 132. Option D is the correct answer. The area of equilateral triangle. Well, let us consider an equilateral triangle. All three sides are same. Let's assume that each side is A. Then the semi-perimeter will be 3A by 2. Now we substitute that in Heron's formula. This will be the substitution. Now A by 2 times A by 2, the under square root, only once A by 2, and here also A times A will be taken once, 2 times 2 will be taken 2. So A square by 4, and then this 3 remains, that is root 3 by 4 A square. That will be your correct answer. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle, its area is, well, we can use the formula which we have just derived, root 3A square by 4, or we can actually calculate the semi-perimeter and substitute in Heron's formula. That will give you 100 root 3 meter square. If the sides of a triangle are double, well, let's consider any random triangle. For simplicity, I am assuming a right angle triangle, and the area will be half times base into height. It's a right angle triangle, so this is the base and this is height. So if everything is double, now what will happen? New area will be half new base, new height. New base is twice of previous base, new height is twice of previous height. So it will be 4 times the previous area. So the area will become 4 times. The lengths of 3 sides are given. How do I know that this is a right angle triangle? Well, this is 5th multiple of 7, this is 4th multiple of 7, this is 3rd multiple of 7. So everything is in the proportion of 3:4:5. 3, 4, 5 is Pythagoras triplet. So this must be a right angle triangle. So smallest side is 21, medium side is 28, and the longest side, which represents hypotenuse, that will be 35. So this is the right angle triangle, and they want this thing. Now we want altitude corresponding to the smallest side. Smallest side is 21, the altitude will be 28. If you know the concept of Pythagoras and triplet, well, this question is nothing. Otherwise this will become complicated. Let's go to chapter 11. This is question 77. The ratio of total surface area of solid hemisphere. Now complete hemisphere is 4 pi r square. Hemisphere, the complete sphere is 4 pi r square. Hemisphere is half of that, 2 pi r square. Now they want total surface area including the pi r square area of the base. So total surface area for solid hemisphere will be 3 pi r square, and to the square of its radius, which is r square, the ratio will come out to be 3 pi is to 1. Option C is the correct answer. Find the surface area to sphere. Well, radius is the, well, surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r square. R has been given as 7. We'll take pi as 22 by 7. After calculation, it will come out to be 616 centimeter square. Formula for slant height of a circular cone. Well, this is the cone, this is the base radius, and this is the height h. Slant height is the diagonal. If you consider this as a right angle triangle, which is R, H and L will form Pythagoras triplet. R square plus H square will be L square, or L is equal to under root of R square plus H square. So that will be the first option. Question number 80, diameter of the base of the cone is 10.5 and slant height, if it is given, then curve surface area calculations are very easy. Pi is 22 by 7. Remember, diameter is given, so we have to take radius by dividing by into half. and slant height is directly given 10. So we will do some calculations. The answer will come out to be 165 centimeter square. Find the surface area of the sphere of radius 10.5. Well, this is a sphere, radius is 10.5. Surface area is 4 pi r square. We will substitute pi as 22 by 7 and radius has been given as 10.5. No need to multiply or divide by 2. So square of 10.5, we will do some cancellation. The answer comes out to be 1386. I strongly recommend you actually work out these questions because in computational steps you might make mistakes, and that's the area where you need to focus. Find the volume of a right circular cone. The volume of a right circular cone is 1/3 of the cylinder. Cylinder is pi r square h, cone is 1/3 of that, so 1/3 pi r square h, and it will be substituted r as 6, height as 7. So the final answer will come after cancellation. It will come out to be 264 centimeter square. Find the volume of sphere whose radius is 7. Well, volume of a sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. We will substitute the values and we will get 1437 1/3 centimeter cube. A joker's cap. Now this is in the shape of a right circular cone. Whose dimensions are given. Sheet required to make 10 such caps. Remember, this step is important. You will find out the surface area of the right circular cone and multiply by 10 because we are supposed to make 10 such caps. So that will be, first we will calculate the slant height using Pythagoras. That will come out to be 25, which eventually we will use for calculation of curved surface area. The curved surface area multiplied by 10 is important because we have to make 10 such caps, and the answer will come out to be 5500 centimeter square. Actually it should be area, so it should be centimeter square. The total surface area is sum of, well, curved surface area and the base area. Total surface area of cube. Now cube is all sides equal, length, width and height, all three dimensions are same. Total surface area, we have 6 surfaces, so each surface is actually equal, which is a square, and total surface area is 6 such surfaces, 6a square. So 6a square will be 96, so a square will be 16, so a will be 4, and that will be your final answer. Question 87, the base radius of cone is 5 centimeter, slant height. Well, again it's a question of Pythagoras triplet, so h will come out to be 12, and they have asked us volume. Now we have to substitute that height. Radius is already known, so if you substitute that, it will come out to be 100 pi square centimeter. That's a volume. So it's will class mark. Class mark is the midpoint of the upper limit and lower limit of a class interval. If the class interval is 70 to 80, the midpoint is 75 because it's simply the average or midpoint. In statistics, the mean of 5 numbers is 30. If one number is excluded, means eliminated, the mean becomes 28. So let's consider these numbers as x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. Their mean is divided by 5 after doing total, that comes out to be 30. That means their total is 150. Now if one number is excluded, so now we have to take only up to x4, x5 is excluded, it is eliminated. Now instead of dividing by 5, we will divide by 4, and the new mean is 28. So that means their total will come out to be 112. All 5 were 150. First 4 is 112, so we can easily find out the fifth number, which is 38. Let's go to question 90. After an examination, the teacher wants to know the average marks. Well, average means mean, middle value means median, and most frequent value is mode. So since she wants to calculate average marks, this is the mean. Question number 91. Range is the difference between the smallest value and the largest value. Here the smallest value is 3 and the largest value is 90. So the range is 90 minus 3, 87. Question 92, for representation of non-numerical data. Non-numerical data we use, first of all, bar graph we use categorical or non-numerical data. Histogram we use numerical data, and frequency polygon is just a polygon which will connect the midpoint. Class frequency is plotted against the class midpoint, and then we connect and make it as a polygon. So correct answer will be bar graph. The graph below shows the frequency distribution of age 22 teachers. This is the graph. Now we have to find out how many teachers are there whose age is less than 40. So this is 40 to 45, less than 40 is all those people. So that will be 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 6. So that will be 15. Again 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 6. And why we are stopping at here? Why we are taking the first 4? Because they have given age is less than 40. So we have to stop at this particular point and we have to take 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and we have to skip the last 2 columns. Question number 44, the median. Median is if you arrange those numbers either in ascending or descending order. Let's do that. Let's arrange them in ascending order. Then the middle number is 7. So that's your median. Question 95, in a class mark frequency, then the class corresponding to the class mark 40.5. These are the class mark, these are the midpoints. This should be 19.5. So the difference between class marks is 7. So we have to add half to the left, half to the right. So the class corresponding to the class mark will be 37 after doing subtraction and 44 after doing the addition. So it is the class interval is 37 to 44 and the midpoint of that will be 40.5. Question number 96, to draw a histogram, the class interval, the adjusted frequency. Well, the adjusted frequency is because sometimes the class intervals are not uniform. That is the case in this scenario. 5 to 10 has only 5, 10 to 15 has only 5, 15 to 25 has 10 and 25 to 45 has actually 20. So if we want to make this uniform or homogenize, we will have to, because now they have asked 25 to 45, which is like the difference is 20. So which is 4 times this and this interval. This is actually 2 times interval, this is 4 times interval. So we have to divide this by 4. So 8 divided by 4, that will become 2. Simply because this class interval is quadruple or 4 times corresponding to the smallest, the beginning class interval. Question 97, in the class interval, the number 20. Well, if you have 10 to 20, that means 10 is included, 20 is excluded. 20 to 30, 20 is included, 30 is excluded, and so on. So that means in 20 to 30, we are including 20, and that will be your answer. 98, let M be the midpoint. Well, we'll draw a quick diagram. Let's M be the midpoint, which is this midpoint, and L be the upper limit. So this is the upper limit. Now we have to, this difference is L minus M. So the same thing we have to go on the opposite side, other side, and that will give you lower limit. So that is, let's assume that this is lower limit. So M minus this difference will be your lower limit. If you substitute that, it will come out to be 2M minus L. And in the frequency distribution, mid value is 10. Well, this is similar to previous question, except we know the numerical values. The midpoint is 10 and the width is 6. So that means we have to go half of that to the right, half of that to the left. So this is 10 minus 3 and this is 10 plus 3. So the lower limit will be 7. That's all for the time being. If you want to see such videos, please visit our website, our YouTube channel, and if you want AI generated notes and such videos without any advertisements, then you can visit our website, www.vidyanti.com. And that's all for the time being. This is my name and qualifications. You can always write a comment on this YouTube video. If you like this video, then share with your friends. And if you have not done, please subscribe to our channel. All the best. Thank you very much. Hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.